Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman with FistShark Marketing. If you're into our show, we hope you'll consider supporting us with a small monthly contribution through Patreon. For less than the price of admission to a donkey show, you can help us conceive acts of equally senseless depravity. Just visit patreon.com/fistshark or click the big Patreon button at fistshark.com for more information. And thanks for listening.
Are loving it. This has been a really great success. I'm thrilled. It feels so good to do something that helps a community, right?
And education is so important. I don't know if this has ever been mentioned before. I may have actually just invented this phrase now that I think about it, but the children are quite literally our future.
Oh wow, that works on several levels, right? Because they're the future in terms of our financial investment for 18 years of our lives, So at a certain point, they're few, but they also represent a legacy, something that comes after the fact, and they are the people who are going to be carrying on. Oh man, that is good.
I tell you what, I had a chubby when I came up with that because it was so good, not because I was thinking about children.
Right. No, absolutely. No, it's certainly the idea and not the children.
I don't even like spending time with children that were shits, but they are so important, and I'm so thrilled we're helping them.
They are super important, and I think that this Bookmobile has it's going to do a world of good. The pilot program we've been running throughout the city of Boston has just been amazing. The kids are really engaged with it.
Yeah, and it's efficient as well. I mean, before, you used to have to gather in a central location and throw them on the bonfire. But a book-burning mobile brings the fire to you.
Right, yes, that's the great thing about it, is that, if you had to take the books somewhere, there might be some books that you left behind, right? That you meant to burn, but you're just gotta go all the way to the dump, get into the big book burning. It's a lot like going to the dump and having a large, pile of things that you need to take that the normal garbage people won't take, but you don't want to go all the way out there, so it just winds up on your lawn. Same thing with these books. These books just wind up sitting in the school libraries where any child could just pick them up and read them.
All sorts of questionable content in those books.
Yeah, all sorts of ideas about, self-empowerment. Being yourself, loving who you are, caring about other people.
Science textbooks. We don't need people knowing that stuff happens.
No.
Science.
No, absolutely. If you introduce children early on to the idea that things require some basis in fact, they become far more difficult to deal with as adults.
Yeah, and as consumers especially.
Yeah.
They start looking at the ingredients of fucking food products.
And God forbid they even understand what some of those words mean, right?
Oof. Once they find out what crate means, people will have heart attacks. And they'll start working out that they've had heart attacks because of crate.
It's a vicious cycle, and we're putting a stop to it.
Absolutely. Get rid of the science books, get rid of the young adult fiction books, kissing, get rid of those, get rid of religious books as well, because, if they're not learning about science, they may turn to God, and if they turn to God, they stop worshipping, us and our celebrities and products. So Get them in the van.
Cannot have that. Can't have any gods. Can't have any science. All has to go. Also, most of the classics really do have to go. Anything that serves as a cautionary tale. No. The only warnings I want to see are the ones that the government forces us to put on products.
Yes. I mean, well, we don't even really want to see those, but...
No. But if I'm going to have a warning...
I want to be forced to have done it.
Right. Yeah.
And then I can at least feel like I did my best to not put the warning on.
It is our job to make the process of people desiring things easier. And warnings just get in the way of that.
Yes. What doesn't is replacing the inventory of a school library with SkyMall catalogues.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids love it. They get so excited. When they see that plume of smoke getting closer and closer toward their school, they know they're in for a book burning, because the book burning mobile's coming.
It's been such a treat because, the first couple of schools, I didn't know how it was going to go down. I thought that maybe some of the children would have some sense of propriety about the books, or they would feel protective of them. But really quickly, they started getting into it too.
Yes.
They were grabbing every other book that they could fit into their grubby little hands and rushing outside with them to, bring them into the Bookmobile.
Yes. And we did soon work out that ventilation in the book burning mobile was pretty important.
It is an issue, yeah.
It was difficult for the children to browse the various book burnings inside the mobile without any air to breathe.
I think that was only really an issue for the first time that we went out, because after a while the heat pressure just blew out all of those windows. Okay, so there was some broken glass and some kids, and yeah, okay. But that's only going to happen that one time, and it solved our ventilation problem. So I think that's going to be taken care of going forward. Kids will be able to just come into the bus and walk past the various piled mounds of flaming books without, worrying too much about smoke inhalation. You set up a new progressive book initiative, you're going to break a few kids, right?
Well, I mean, it's bound to happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the children are our future, and the future is pretty broken.
I'll tell you what, the concept, I mean, it's set to spread like a pile of burning books. Communities all over the place are just getting really, really excited about the idea of the book burning mobile.
Teachers aren't too happy about it. And they're not really responding well to the mascot because we thought, we could introduce the idea of book burning as a fun educational activity with a mascot. And Billy, the baton-wielding authority figure, is certainly making sure that the teachers don't complain too much. But they're still complaining and screaming a bit in sort of pain.
This is like anything else, when it comes to teachers, is that we know what's best for the children. Well, no, you don't. You're not their parents, right? Mm-hmm. And their parents pay taxes, and their taxes have been funneled into a program to burn books. So clearly that's what they wanted.
Yes.
Who are you as teachers to tell us or tell anyone that these children shouldn't be exposed to burning books?
I think teachers are lazy. I think they're undisciplined. I think they're dangerous. I think they should be armed. I think that they're a problem. I think they should be armed. I think that they should shut their mouths. I think that they presume too much. I think they teach our kids the wrong things, and I think they should be armed.
Oh, absolutely. All of those things. They need to just shut up and do what the parents tell them to do.
They should be at the firing range practicing where they belong.
Right.
Not in a school teaching our children all sorts of things. Who knows what they're teaching them? Subjects, probably.
The next thing you know, they're going to start teaching them about sex education, condom use, and then sales of herpes medications are going to go way down, right? The birth rate could decline, and that is a prime demographic birth rate for us, the poorly educated. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, and everybody knows there's way more money in pregnancy tests than there is in condoms. So we got to look after our investments, our portfolios. No one ever thinks of the marketing executive and how they're affected by today's modern education system.
They really don't. We are just dramatically underserved and underrespected when it comes to modern public education. And it's a tragedy because, I look at how schools were when I grew up, right? I mean, I didn't go to public school, of course, obviously.
No.
That would be absurd.
I got a real education, thank you very much.
But I've been led to understand that public school education used to be pretty hands-off, and you didn't really have to learn anything because the standards were low, and you were going to go into a factory job somewhere. And why can't we just go back to that?
I remember a time when schools were only for the privileged few. If you wanted an education, you would learn how not to get your hands caught in a threshing machine.
Exactly.
That is how kids used to be brought up, and they were brought up the right way.
Yep. Dumb and pliable.
Speaking of which, I actually think we should block up a couple of those air vents because I do have a feeling that the smoke is helping making the children stupider.
I guess then what I'm trying to get at is I guess I just don't understand how it works, right?
For such a detailed set of instructions, I'll admit I'm a mite confused as to how this process works. I get the basics.
Right, yeah, it's haunted things. It seems pretty straightforward, things that are haunted.
Yeah, well, more specifically, us haunting things.
Right,
and that's
right.
where the communication appears to have broken down. An email from the senior partners is already, shall we say, a bit of a confusing affair, because you can never trust the words that are written in the email specifically, especially because some of the words aren't real.
Well, and some of them change of their own accord. You'll be looking at it 1 minute, you look away, you look back, and you swear that wasn't the word that was there before, but there it is, and now all of a sudden you're shipping off arms to Nicaragua.
Yeah. And in this one, in this email, if we take out the large sections of it, I mean, the chapters, essentially, that are written in ancient Sumerian, and certain dialects that I'm not even sure come from this planet, then we're left with, I want to say, like, 20 to 30,000 words that are actually in English. And then if we take out the ones that are just vague threats directed in the direction of Tolkien's estate, we can skim it down to the actual instructions. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to remove a retelling of Beowulf first. If I just delete that section.
Well, and while you're at it, you might as well just do a search for the phrases vertical integration. Let's see, synergy. That's just anything synergy, synergistic, and any 10 words that follow that. It's useless. I mean, really, if it's not in a language we can't understand, it's a language we understand to be bullshit for the most part.
Okay, I'm also going to do a quick find and replace Imhotep's Revenge, and I'm going to change that to Billboards.
Right.
Since we already worked that one out in spring. So that makes it a bit more legible. And then we crack down to the core, and we've got the business is haunting. The customers want objects haunted. Do it repeated a lot. Actually, let me just delete the certain instances where you hear a scream in your head while reading do it. I think that's the text that's rendered in purple. So if we just highlight all of that and just give it regular black font on a white background, that should stop the screams in people's heads.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's because I gotta tell you, as compelling as it is to be told to do it over and over again, that's really difficult when the brain hasn't yet received the full instruction and understood, comprehended what it is to be done, because then it's kind of like stretching a rubber band and pulling it further and further and further back, but never actually releasing it, and just like putting strain on the entire body. So oh, that's a weight off. I feel better. I feel like I could focus now. And
on the plus side, it is motivating.
Oh yeah, no,
I want to do it.
Yeah, really want to do it. Anything to make that stop. But
I want to. What was their phrase for it? In spirit. Yes, I want to inspirit somebody's mobile phone.
I do not know how to do that.
No, I do not, as the senior partners put it, know how to inspirit the talking box. I don't know any ghosts.
No, I don't. I don't know any ghosts. I don't know, like, where do they hang out?
Is that even what they want? Like, do they want us to find or make ghosts and, like, push them into phones and other objects? I know they mentioned mirrors at one point. IG-88 toys. Anything to do with that particular robot in Star Wars they want. They would love to see poltergeists inside. I don't know if they want it to move about of its own accord and try and strangle people in the night. It's vague. For something that's 500,000 words long, it's a pretty vague email.
There's nothing about process in here.
Yeah, like actually knowing how to complete the task would be handy. I mean, when they say that they want their top-level executives haunting objects that are brought to them, that could very well refer to us. Are we supposed to put sheets on top of us and just go, ooh, near someone's possessions?
Now, hear me out. Now, I'm not suggesting that the senior partners would want us dead. But isn't that how you make a ghost?
Traditionally, yeah. But then, if we re-include the chapters that talk of slaughtering all ghosts that they linger no more here, I mean, I know how to kill a ghost now. Because that's in the instructions. The senior partners love doing that, because apparently they'll be the ones to inherit when the lingering are diminished. I don't know quite what that means. But they hate ghosts in general. So I don't want to be one, because I don't want to get shot with a ghost gun.
Is this perhaps some sort of ghost containment initiative that they're proposing, then?
Like a Ghostbusters thing, except, it's in an oscillating fan instead of a big red box.
Right, Joe, like putting the ghosts into objects to be haunting so that they're easily contained as opposed to just wandering around willy-nilly.
Yeah, plus, it's a lot easier to just smash something that a ghost is in than shooting it with ghost bullets.
Well, ghost bullets are not cheap.
No. Like $5 a piece.
Right, yeah. Way easier to just destroy an object that a ghost would be inhabiting. But, how do you get them in there?
And that's it. They said nothing of ghost shoehorns or ghost stuffers.
Maybe we have to convince them? Maybe that's it. Maybe they have finally acknowledged our amazing talent for sales. They want us to break into a whole new market by convincing ghosts to occupy objects. They want us to apply our sales techniques to a place that's never been done before. This could be a huge opportunity for us to demonstrate our ability.
Yeah. Well, they could be fucking around like they were yesterday.
Well, that is true. I mean,
they told us to just hold a demolition derby in the parking lot. And then we have no more cars.
But it has done wonders for keeping everybody in the office for crunch month.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's a win.
We can't get out. We need the cars to drive past the wolves. Ever since that overspill incident, and we shunted them in the car park, you can only get in if you're in a heavily armoured vehicle, most of which we did destroy in the demolition derby. We tried to take as many wolves out as we could at the same time, but the parking lot's practically overrun.
I mean, there's good things and bad things between, that about having your office park 4 miles away from the nearest populated area, of course. But, one of those downsides is that the only way to get past all of the screaming wolves in the wasteland is to be in some sort of secured vehicle. It's just the way it is.
Maybe we can have a chat with the wolves that started talking. Maybe they're haunted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be like just a fact-finding mission. Go talk to Lothgar and be like, hey, what's up? Are you a ghost?
I mean, they kind of glow in the dark, them ones.
They do.
So my guess is either radiation or ghosts.
Yeah, see, that was my first thought, too, is that the glowing was due to radiation from the testing. But, that fits. Ghosts glow. Right? I don't know that I've ever actually seen a ghost, is the thing.
I tell you what, get me 3 shiny eggs of Virtue True, right? I'll take the elevator to the top floor.
Okay.
And I will talk with the dragon on the roof. The dragon on the roof usually knows how to do things.
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling and Conrad Zimmerman. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alazar Chand. Our editor is Austin Yorsky. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, when the going gets regulated, the regulated get clever. Goodbye.